hate me, don't you?
Tune in to Kons podcast.
You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you?
So yeah, before we get into the episode though, so yesterday, you know what I'm saying, I recorded the episode, sat down and recorded everything. It was about 17 minutes, and after 3 minutes, when I got down to Westside Gunn, you know what I'm saying, Westside Gunn WWE Records, if you're familiar with him, you know he is a very, definitely in tune and definitely a fan of wrestling, you know what I'm saying, he uses a lot of wrestling content. I didn't look into this, you know what I mean, and apparently he done some type of music or theme song for another group that's in another clique, AEW, that's a whole nother wrestling league. And apparently WWE, North Carolina woman, a TikTok star named Brennay Kinnard, you know what I'm saying, Brennay Kinnard, who was married to a guy named Tim Montague, married to his first cousin, and then she cheated on, definitely cheating, and then getting sued, and then you gotta pay $1.7 million. I think it's because you flossed it all over your social media, and you got a huge, that the emails had dropped and tying Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell to Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, but I mean, we knew this, you know what I'm saying, like we didn't know. You can Google several pics, you know what I mean, like these pictures. Akon, you know what I'm saying, Akon, little mugshot is going around that he got locked up out there in Georgia, you know what I mean, a lot of people with song, and even his song is coming back, making a lot of play, just the face, showing his face. Yeah, what's going on, what's happening, you know what I'm saying, it is Kons Podcast, you know what I mean, episode 329 today, you know what I'm saying, thank all y'all for tuning in, thank you for the round of applause, you feel me, you know what I mean, it's definitely raining out here, you know what I'm saying, definitely pouring down rain, definitely overcast, you know what I mean, the sun is gone, you feel me, finally, no more hot days, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it is 2:11 on this fine Thursday, you know what I'm saying, November 13th, you feel me? This is going to be another unedited episode, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoyed the last episode before this one, you feel me? I'm going to get into what that came out yesterday, you know what I'm saying? But this, hope y'all enjoyed episode 328 though, I'll let you know that Trump pardoned a few of his old friends, you know what I'm saying? The co-conspirators that helped him get elected in 2020, along with Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, some of the few. Marvel Rivals is coming with a new season, and they're gonna have a wedding for Gambit and Rowe, you know what I'm saying, only game starting season 5, and also Israel had bombed Iran again, you know what I'm saying, the war is brewing, you feel me, that was episode 328, I hope you enjoyed that for the last episode, you know what I mean, if this your first time here, you know what I'm saying, and this is, if you're wondering what this channel is about, what we do, this is where we go over the topics, go over headlines, go over news, go over whatever made a headline that you may have seen whenever you log on to your computer, whether your homepage is MSNBC, Yahoo News, Google News, Hip-Hop DS, wherever you get your headlines from, I'm probably touching on some of them right here on Kons Podcast, you know what I'm saying? So keep it locked and subscribe and let me keep you tuned in on this wicked world, you know what I mean? But yeah, though, you know what I'm saying, I don't got too much, just fun little topics for today, you know what I'm saying? Today we're going to touch on definitely Westside Gunn and his WWE situation. Now, I mean, I'm going to definitely also touch on a North Carolina woman who cheated and had to pay up for cheating. Also, we're going to touch on the Democrats released a whole lot of new emails that ties Trump to Epstein. Also, Akon, you know what I'm saying, we're going to touch on that little locked up picture, the little mugshot that was going around, you know what I'm saying? I got the story on that, you feel me, a little clip for it all, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what we're going to go over today, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be unedited. Like I said, it's going to be unedited, straight cuts and raws, straight through, like the burp I just did just now. All of this is being left in, you feel me? So yeah, before we get into the episode though, so yesterday, you know what I'm saying, I recorded the episode, sat down and recorded everything. It was about 17 minutes, and after 3 minutes, when I got down to the edit, you feel me, I dropped the what I recorded in the little edit slot, and it allows me to see the whole thing, so the whole audio file of everything that my mic picked up, you know what I'm saying? And after 3 minutes, my mic didn't pick up not a damn thing, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here going through topics, talking, cracking jokes, however it is I do on this, and it just wasn't recording. So frustrated me to no end. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely mad about that, you know what I mean? But I'm going to go over it. This is definitely take two, you know what I'm saying? So forgive me if I might sound short on the thoughts, you know what I'm saying, or try to get through it. This is because I've did this already, and this is the take two of this, you know what I mean? So let's jump right into that two of them, into these topics, though, you feel me? So Westside Gunn, you know what I'm saying? Westside Gunn of Griselda Records, if you're familiar with him, you know he is a very, definitely in tune, and definitely a fan of wrestling, you know what I'm saying? He uses a lot of wrestling content in his albums, a lot of images on his artwork for his albums, a lot of references in his lyrics, metaphors, and similes to wrestling and wrestling stars, and so on. You know what I'm saying? So he arrived at WWE event Monday Night Raw at 8 o'clock, and he was being removed at 8:03. After looking deeper into this is definitely all something petty, you know what I mean, going on, you know what I'm saying? So they removed him from the event. This is after, I guess, sending him a cease and desist letter for him to stop using their images of their wrestlers and wanted to stop making references to him in his music, you know what I mean? They had sent him a cease and desist letter over this, so they had him removed 3 minutes after seeing he was arrived in the building. It was also in Buffalo, mind you, where he from, you feel me? So the next little clips you're about to see is just clips of people talking about this, and clips more so on this matter. You also will see a clip of him being removed from the event. Check it out.
Mark Brenner.
Mark Brenner kicked me out of Monday Night Raw, my $5,000 seat. For no reason. All these people in here. I don't even know. What's your name?
Mark Brenner.
Mark Brenner kicked me out of Monday Night Raw, my $5,000 seat. For no reason. All these people in here. I don't even know. What's your name?
Mark Brenner.
Mark Brenner kicked me out of Monday Night Raw, my $5,000 seat. For no reason. All these people in here.
Hate me, don't
about
you?
the money. I think
his money back.
I think that was
Because I get where he's coming from, where it's like, bro, he probably helped their brand just as much as, you know, it helped him or whatever. Like, it's his intellectual property if he's spitting bars. If he's using imagery and stuff like that, that's different. They own that. But this is just how business goes, bro. Like, if people, how many brands was it back in the 2000s that were like, we don't want black people associated with our Ed Hardy,
Louis Vuitton,
or sorry, not Ed Hardy,
Gucci,
Von Dutch, the hat,
Versace,
all this shit, bro. Like, it's just the like, I don't know, it's just business, right? If people are like, oh, we don't fuck with you, be like, all right, I'll fuck with you too. Keep it rocking, keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? Or boycott this shit. Like, it's not that deep, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I want to I hella want to read. I want to read this entire post in Westside Gunn's voice. I'm not gonna do it, but
do it. Just try it. Give us a couple bars.
Hey yo, before I even say this, just know that God is the greatest.
You good.
Boom, 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 boom. Tommy Hilfiger never said that, by the way. I'm checking.
Yeah, that's a
that was a false narrative.
Yeah.
All right.
That's one I got.
Basically, so Nathan, can you read this? You were like hella close. Hey yo, for years.
Alright, it says, before I even say that, just know God is the greatest. For years, I mean, nobody with 2 feet has spent the amount of money I have supporting and pushing a brand I've loved since I can remember. I sat front row at every big show, literally all the good times it brought to my life, to the point where I started making music. I incorporated in everything, like Wu-Tang did, karate. I made people who hated the product watch it again. I made it look cool, when at the time people thought it was nerdy. I watched the same company sit countless of people next to me who's not even fans for real, and I act like I didn't even exist. I was threatened to take everything out of my music, which I only did to pay homage, or my whole catalog would be demolished, and everybody knows how hard I worked coming from Buffalo for me to get that. Threat for just supporting and being a real fan hurted me, but I stayed quiet and still, like a crazy man, sat front row because I loved the culture. I even just went viral for spending $50K on sweets. On my soul, I've only been respectful. I tried having conversations with one individual because he's causing all of these unnecessary cases in TBH. He hates seeing a young black successful entrepreneur that could afford those seats and have to watch those chains dance across that screen. To the point. Monday.
Damn.
Night Raw starts at 8 p.m. I was kicked out at 8:03 after spending $5K for my seats plus travel, hotel, etc. in my own city for absolutely nothing. No lie, the kid in me heart broke that day. I put the billboard up, that $1 Million Man billboard up, which he loves, and I wanted to push him in the culture because he deserves it. And to show Virgil love for the culture, I get a letter saying, so I said, you know what, I'm show love only to the people that show love to me from now on. So you don't have to worry about me pushing that.
Wait, me, don't you?
WWE kicked Westside Gunn out of an event and sent him a cease and desist over his use of wrestling samples and wrestling cover art in his music. And in response, he immediately changed all the covers to his Heels Have Eyes trilogy to wrestler Josh Bishop, who is the first wrestler that officially signed to Westside Gunn's wrestling promotion Fourth Rope. Westside Gunn posted a long statement about the incident along with the video of him getting escorted out of the arena from his $5,000 ringside seats less than 5 minutes into the event.
What's your name?
Mark Brenner.
Mark Brenner kicked me out of Monday Night Raw on my $5,000 seat. For no reason. All these people in here.
In his post, Westside Gunn takes credit for making wrestling cool and fusing it with hip-hop culture, and he blames one specific individual for causing all of the legal issues between him and the WWE. I understand why there's copyright laws and the importance of protecting people's intellectual property, but in an instant like this, a smart organization should recognize that working with someone who not only has influence but also has a genuine love and passion for your product is more valuable than the strict protection of your IP. Plus, forcibly escorting someone out of your event who publicly has shown your organization nothing but love takes the disrespect to another level. There's another recent example of a relationship between the WWE and hip-hop with Travis Scott. Travis Scott obviously provides a larger audience and wider reach than someone like Westside Gunn, but Travis's lack of passion and dedication to the WWE and wrestling was evident, and when the two sides ultimately had a falling out and dropped his storyline, most fans didn't really seem to care. But Westside Gunn, on the other hand, provides a unique opportunity to grow wrestling and introduce new fans because he is deeply embedded in the culture and has a vast knowledge of its history. Hopefully the WWE realizes they made a mistake and does something to make it right and the two sides can reconcile, but I'm sure in the meantime Westside Gunn is just going to double down on his own wrestling promotion.
Westside Gunn, and they was removing him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I done looked into this, you know what I mean, and apparently he done some type of music or theme song for another group that's in another clique, AEW. That's the whole nother wrestling league. And apparently WWE don't like it when you mingle business and mix and mingle businesses like that. So this is just petty at the end of the day. They can't really do nothing to him for messing with the other side, you know what I'm saying, being a part of the music that went on to a theme song to one of the wrestlers, you know what I mean. It's just being petty, you know what I'm saying. They wasn't paying Westside Gunn for nothing, you know what I mean. He wasn't signed on to them or none of that, you feel me. He was just simply paying homage because he was a fan, you know what I mean, just like he talked about, you know what I'm saying, it was the fan in him, you know what I mean, just like you also seen they was talking about it on No Jumper. I put that clip in there as well, you know what I mean. This is definitely just something petty, you know what I'm saying. They couldn't do nothing else, so they decided to just remove him from the event, you know what I mean. This is definitely petty work though, you know what I'm saying, but they should definitely reconsider this. Somebody like Westside Gunn, as much influence as he got, he probably got, you know what I'm saying, new heads turned on to wrestling in his hood he from, you feel me. I'm sure probably a lot of people that didn't even watch it until he started promoting it and being into it and putting it out in his music like he was doing. So he definitely a big time influencer, and they can definitely bubble off of him being signed on or part of the marketing team or something of that nature, you know what I'm saying, make him an ambassador or something, you know what I'm saying. The WWE can definitely benefit from that for sure, you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, they just really hating though, you know what I'm saying. It comes down to being petty, you know what I mean. That's really what that situation is about at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. Westside Gunn also has his own little wrestling promotion thing and also hired on his own little wrestlers, so hopefully he don't get big and become competition, because that could be ugly. A North Carolina woman, a TikTok star named Brennay Kinnard, you know what I'm saying? Brennay Kinnard, who was married to a guy named Tim Montague, married to his first cousin, and then she cheated on him with this dude named Tim Montague, who was her manager, you know what I'm saying? She cheated on him. She was married to his first cousin, but then cheated on him, who was also her manager named Tim Montague, and he was married to a woman named Akira Montague, you feel me? And she filed a lawsuit against Brennay Kinnard for the alienation of affection and criminal conversation for having an affair with a married man, and flaunted it all over social media to her millions of followers, you know what I'm saying? The judge had granted the wife Akira Montague $1.7 million. I mean, granted her $1.7 million for cheating, you know what I'm saying? So the next little clips that you're going to see is just coverage of TMZ had covered this, and also more coverage on this matter. Check it out.
Don't you?
Good evening to you again, Lauren. So I spoke with the attorney for Akira Montague. She filed this case in a Durham County courtroom just last year. Her attorney and I, we talked at great length, and she tells me this is the third highest settlement in an alienation of affection case that the state has seen since 1895. These are photos shot by the News and Observer from the trial involving a wildly popular Wake County viral TikToker facing civil allegations of alienation of affection and criminal conversation for allegedly having an affair with a married man. In her 14-page civil complaint filed last year, Akira Montague of Durham claimed TikTok star Brennay Kinnard not only had an affair with her husband, Tim Montague, but she flaunted that affair all over social media to Kinnard's millions of followers, accusing her of verbally flirting and having a sexual affair with Montague's husband, among other complaints. I spoke with attorney Robinetta Jones, who represented Akira Montague, about the details of the complaints that were alleged.
So when you are thinking about alienation of affection, you have to think about the humiliation that the spouse went through. Ms. Kinnard flaunted her relationship with a married man, and of course it went viral, and my client was humiliated as a result of that.
Jones says her client is happy with Monday's outcome, with the jury deciding to pay her $1.75 million and is still processing tonight.
When you finally are able to tell your truth, she felt a sense of relief.
In the suit, Akira Montague also accusing Kinnard of making social media posts alluding to how she cannot wait to become Mrs. Montague. Akira Montague also alleged that Kinnard, who was also married at the time to Tim Montague's first cousin, knew of her marriage, which is necessary to prove an alienation of affection lawsuits.
We were able to prove that they had a loving relationship. They were able to take trips together, spend time together, and still make sure they held themselves out to be husband and wife. Also, text messages helped a lot as well.
Kinnard filed a motion to dismiss, arguing the evidence used against her was private and unlawfully obtained, the judge denying that request. Jones says her client represents other women who have been in similar situations with their partner.
She has a voice for women that have been hurt by friends and by their loved one. So a lot of people say that they can recognize themselves in my client.
And North Carolina is one of 7 states in the country that has an alienation of affection clause on their legislative body there. But we do know that Kinnard, I reached out to her today for comment. She declined to comment. However, in court, she denied all of the allegations that were made against her. We're live in downtown Raleigh tonight. Dwan Hogard, ABC 11.
Carolina influencer Brennay Kinnard was ordered to pay $1.75 million after she was found liable of ruining a marriage. According to WRAL-TV, she had been accused of having an affair with her manager, Tim Montague. And as a result, Tim broke off his marriage with his now estranged wife, Akira. Akira married Tim in 2018, and the couple have 2 kids together. She claimed that the affair caused anguish in her personal life and negatively affected her and Tim's family dynamic. Brennay was found liable for criminal conversation and alienation of affection, which adds up to a whopping $1.75 million.
$1.7 million. The wife got awarded. Now this was crazy. I definitely had to throw this in there because this is a case I never heard of. So I never heard of somebody definitely cheating and then getting sued, and then you got to pay $1.7 million. I think it's because you flossed it all over your social media and you got a huge following. You know what I mean? So they put humiliation in there and heartbreak and or whatever they put in there to make it sound lawyer friendly. You know what I'm saying? To where she got awarded 1.7 M's. You feel me? I think she definitely got awarded that because of who the person is. She's a TikTok star. She makes probably money, you know what I'm saying, off of this social media. So she had millions of followers. You feel me? So they definitely awarded her $1.7 million, and it's all for cheating. You know what I mean? All for cheating. She cheated. You know what I'm saying? Now she got to pay up almost $2 million. You know what I mean? I thought it was kind of, I don't know. I guess that's what you get, you know what I'm saying? But I thought it was kind of crazy to take it to court and get sued, and then you got to pay almost $2 million. You know what I'm saying? That is $2 million for cheating. It's crazy. You know what I mean? We'll definitely have to throw this in there, you know what I'm saying? The Democrats, you know what I'm saying, they reached a slew of emails, you know what I mean, aimed at Donald Trump and showing that he was definitely tied to Jeffrey Epstein, and also Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's little main squeeze. You know what I'm saying? TMZ had put this on and reported on this and said they got a bunch of emails, and they got to talking about the emails that came through, definitely showing Donald Trump was tied to Epstein. But you can Google, you know what I'm saying? You can definitely Google pics and all that, you know what I'm saying? So the next little clip you're about to see is just a clip of Harvey at TMZ, and the black dude on TMZ, they talking about this emails that came through that ties him to Jeffrey Epstein. Check this clip out.
Democrats from the House Oversight Committee released a slew of emails, and they are about as significant as anything we've seen yet, tying Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein in a far more significant way than we've ever heard to this point.
Yeah, and then these emails are conversations between Jeffrey Epstein and author Michael Wolff, as well as Ghislaine Maxwell.
So let's start with 2015, just before the Republican debates on CNN. Michael Wolff, the author, told Jeffrey Epstein that he was concerned that they might...
He had heard, actually, that
CNN would ask questions about Epstein to Donald Trump.
Right, would ask Donald Trump about his relationship with Epstein, and Epstein responds to Michael Wolff's bringing that up, and Epstein says, if we could craft an answer, what should it be?
Now listen to this.
Which, by the way, we should say, makes it clear that Epstein is saying, if I could get information to Trump on how to respond to that question, what should it be?
Well, if it were simply... if the truth was simply all he knew, he just knew and socialized with Epstein, you wouldn't be concerned about crafting an answer. Right. You craft an answer when there are things you don't want to say or shade or avoid. Now listen to this. Wolff sends back to Donald Trump this. This is a quote.
No, Wolff sends back to Epstein.
Wolff sends back to Epstein. This is a quote. I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. Then he goes on to say this. If it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. That is way more.
The save him part is, save him.
Save him from what? That's the question. If it's just they socialized, you're not saving him from anything.
Right.
Wait, you know what I'm saying? That was letting you know that the emails had dropped and tying Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell to Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we knew this, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know. You can Google several pics, you know what I mean? Like these pictures see on the screen now, you know what I'm saying? You could definitely find him kicking it with Jeffrey Epstein, shaking hands, standing there, smiling. They in parties, they doing their thing, they kicking it, you know what I'm saying? So you can definitely find these pics. So it ain't like we didn't know that you was kicking it with Epstein or that you knew Epstein, you was rocking with him, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? You was definitely rocking with him hard. Y'all was partying it up, you know what I'm saying? These pictures, y'all look like y'all having a good time, you know what I'm saying, in these pics, you feel me? So this ain't nothing new, you know what I'm saying? That we definitely know he was tied to Jeffrey Epstein, even though he tried to deny it to us in front of press conferences and avoid questions when people asked him about the emails, about if he was tied, if he was cool, if he'd been to the parties or any of that tied to Epstein. He didn't want to answer him and said, why are we still talking about this dude? Why are we still talking about Epstein? It was his answers to a lot of, one of the clips I used, one of these recent episodes, you know what I mean? So we knew what he was doing. We knew he was tied to him. You know what I'm saying? He rich. You feel me? A lot of these dudes with all of this money, they think they can just get off with anything. You know what I'm saying? Because they rich and they got the money to put behind a lawyer. They got the money to, pay for a crisis team and get rid of everything and stuff like that of that nature. You know what I mean? But yo, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? It's Kons Podcast interrupting this episode. You feel me? For you to hit that subscribe button if you ain't. You know what I mean? Hit that subscribe button if you ain't. Hit it already. You know what I'm saying? Go on and do that right now if you ain't. Tell your friends to hit that too. You know what I'm saying? Tell your friends to hit the subscribe button. Tell your cousins to hit the subscribe button. Tell your grandma. Tell your nieces. Tell your nephews. Tell everybody. Hit that subscribe button. You feel me? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say in the middle of the episode. Let's get right back to the episode. I don't know, man. The world is definitely turning on Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Akon, you know what I'm saying? Akon, little mugshot is going around. that he got locked up out there in Georgia. You know what I mean? A lot of people, his song, even his song is coming back, making a lot of play. Just the face, showing his face, and it's a mugshot. The song "Locked Up" has definitely got a lot more play because of that. You know what I'm saying? So his little face was going around that he got locked up and arrested out in DeKalb County out in Georgia for a warrant that he had in New Mexico. I guess the warrant was for suspended license, or he had a suspended license in Mexico or something like that. But he only spent about 6 hours in the county. You know what I'm saying? So he was definitely in and out. That is about as much time as it takes for the average person to get booked in jail. You know what I'm saying? You spent about 4-5 hours sitting in that booking room. You know what I mean? To everybody that has been to jail before, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But he was only in there 6 hours in and out. But he didn't do no time, you know what I'm saying? So the next little clip you're about to see is just a clip of a AI speaker and also somebody who tuned into this and was talking about Akon being arrested out in DeKalb County, Georgia. Check it out.
Akon was arrested in Georgia last Thursday, but he was released after just 6 hours. Turns out there was a warrant for him in Roswell, Georgia over a suspended license. Page 6 reports that on September 10th, a cop found Akon's Cybertruck dead on the side of the road. While waiting for a tow truck, they ran his information and found out that his license is suspended. And it's suspended because he missed a prior court date. Akon ended up getting cited, and this is his mugshot where he's wearing a black hoodie. The original court appearance that Akon had missed was from January of 2023. TMZ also reports that an illegal vape was found in the center console of his Tesla Cybertruck, and the vape was seized during the inventory and submitted for destruction. He was issued a citation for driving while his license is suspended and released after a few hours, but I'm not gonna lie, initially when I saw the headline that Akon was arrested, I thought it would be for something way crazier. But I was pleasantly surprised that this happened last week and he is no longer in jail. He was only there for a few hours. Now, hopefully he can renew his license so that he can drive legally. Let me know your thoughts down below and follow me for more.
The world famous Locked Up and Smack That singer found himself in real-life trouble when Georgia police arrested him in early November 2025. According to reports, the 52-year-old artist was detained by Chamblee police after his car triggered a flock security camera alert linked to an outstanding out-of-county warrant. Officers located him near a business on Chamblee Dunwoody Road, took him into custody, and booked him into the DeKalb County Jail. He spent roughly 6 hours behind bars before being released. While officials haven't revealed the exact cause of the warrant, speculation ranges from a suspended license to a failure to appear issue. The details remain murky, adding intrigue to a story already sparking major conversation online. For fans, it's an ironic twist for the artist who once sang about being locked up, and now, 2 decades later, briefly lived it again.
I was just letting you know how he was arrested. His mugshot was making waves, circling around. You know what I'm saying? Akon, he was only in there for 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? We know Akon. Akon is a super millionaire. You know what I mean? This dude was trying to build his own Wakanda city. You know what I mean? I talked about it on one of his recent episodes. They had definitely dropped his contracts recently because he wasn't doing nothing with the land that he was granted. You know what I'm saying? He was granted a whole bunch of land, finna start building up a whole city in his likes and all that. Had the grants for the property, the land, and all that, but he wasn't never making no moves on it, so the government has snatched it back, you know what I mean? But Akon is a rich dude, you know what I'm saying? He definitely wasn't going to be caught up or be sitting in nobody's jail for no long period amount of time with the amount of money that dude has, you know what I'm saying? We talking about a dude who got his own diamond line, you feel me? Has his own blood diamonds, you know what I'm saying? A whole line of diamonds. The diamonds he wear is his line of diamonds, you know what I mean? With that being said, this dude's wealth is just on another level, you know what I mean? He got overseas money, he got in states money, he been making a whole lot of money off of Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, I think, whatever these artists that he tied to, you know what I'm saying? If you look up, do the research, he tied to a lot of these artists, you feel me? He definitely put a lot on. He also got a record label, you know what I'm saying, that's putting on other genres of music for people from foreign countries and shit like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to Akon. No, only did 6 hours, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we all know he wasn't gonna do a lot of time. He's rich, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was Take 2, episode 329, you know what I'm saying? I hope it didn't sound like I was rushing through anything, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this was the Take 2, the second part. I had recorded all of this yesterday, and you feel me? I hate recording and then having to do the same thing, talking about the same thing that I just recorded, because it just don't really come out the same. But I wanted to get these topics out, especially the Westside Gunn story, especially the Akon story, especially that North Carolina one. I don't really, the Democrats one was some extra that I threw in there. So I don't really touch on politics too much about the emails and stuff like that. But the North Carolina one was dope. You know what I'm saying? I definitely have some dope little topics that I wanted to put out there. You know what I mean? Let everybody know about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. No, thank y'all for watching. No, you know what I'm saying? Because you could have been doing anything you wanted to do in the world. You feel me? No matter who you was. You know what I'm saying? Whether you was a little brother, or little sister, older brother. You know what I'm saying? Whether you was an auntie, or uncle, grandpa, mother, or father. You know what I'm saying? You could be cousin Pookie, cousin Mookie, cousin Man, cousin Mook, whoever you was. You know what I'm saying? If you got pets too that's sitting there right along with you, whether your pet is a cat, you have a pet dog, a pet alligator, you have a pet bearded dragon, a pet giraffe, a pet hyena, you can have a pet dog, you know what I'm saying? You can have a pet goldfish, whoever your pet is. You feel me? A pet hedgehog. If they watching Kons podcast, I definitely get that good salute to them, like you see the homie scrolling up the screen. You know what I'm saying? Now, in case you got too busy or something, you know what I mean? In case you was rolling up, in case you had to go break up a fight, your kids was tripping, you had to leave the room, you know what I'm saying? Just leave the TV on. Thank you for doing that, because I still get the credit you if you ain't sitting inside watching. You feel me? But in case you had to walk away, that's everything we went over today, and I let you know, you know what I'm saying? That rapper Westside Gunn, Records Out the Records, was kicked out the WWE event. You know what I mean? Kicked out after just being there for 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? To let you know about that. Also let you know about North Carolina woman, a TikTok star, cheated with her manager and got sued by the manager's wife and had to pay up $1.7 million for cheating with him and then flaunting it all over to her millions of followers on TikTok. Also, let you know the Democrats released a slew of emails that definitely ties Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Also, let you know about Akon getting locked up for 6 hours. His mugshot was making rounds on the internet, and that's what it was about. You know what I mean? But see though, you know what I'm saying? That's everything I had. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching us. And the beat you hear creeping up was definitely made by none other than Old Amazing Beats. You know what I mean? Old Amazing Beats is the one. The beat you gonna hear that you hear creeping up, and the beat you gonna be hearing in the background of these credits. You know what I'm saying? As these credits roll up the screen to get my last minute little comments on these topics. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed episode 329. You know what I'm saying? The Kons podcast. Thank you for letting me keep you updated on this wicked world. You know what I mean? But yeah, I see y'all next episode. Unedited, you feel me? Excuse me, unedited.
Wait me, don't you?
Constant content.
Wait me, don't you?
Podcast.
Wait me, don't you? 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 Wait me, don't you?
Democrats from the House Oversight Committee released a slew of emails, and they are about as significant as anything we've seen yet, tying Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein in a far more significant way than we've
Good evening to you again, Lauren. So I spoke with the attorney for Akira Montague. She filed this case in a Durham County courtroom just last year. Her attorney and I, we talked at great length, and she tells me this is the third highest settlement in an alienation of affection case that the state has.
So hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that?